Hi everyone, a very warm welcome to my channel Booked Line and Sinker. It's Sunday and we're doing another author special today. Well, today I want to talk to you about an author who I absolutely love reading. He is the recipient of numerous Indian and international awards. He's been shortlisted for the Booker Prize. He has won the Gyanpith Award. He has won the Padma Shri. And his work has been translated into over 30 languages. Well, if you haven't guessed already, I'm talking about none other than Amitav Ghosh. He has written over 15 books, both in fiction and non-fiction, and we're not going to delve into each and every one of them. Today, I'm going to share with you some of his works which have really left an impact on me, and I've truly enjoyed reading them. If you're new here, I'm Nimisha. I'm a voice artist and a book lover, and on this channel, we have inspiring conversations about books and all things related. So if you're looking for book recommendations, reviews, reading tips, then don't forget to like, subscribe and follow me across social media because I take out a new video every week and you don't want to miss it. Well, let's talk about Amitav Ghosh. Before we go into the books themselves, I want to give you an overarching view of Amitav Ghosh's writing. He writes mostly historical fiction based on Asia. All his books are very well researched, and not only do they have interesting characters and storylines, they will also give you an in-depth history of this region of the world. So the first series of books I want to talk to you about are the Ibis trilogy. Now the Ibis trilogy consists of 3 books: Sea of Poppies, River of Smoke and Flood of Fire. Of these 3, Sea of Poppies was shortlisted for the Booker Prize in 2008. Now when I read this trilogy, it just blew my mind away. This is the best trilogy of historical fiction that I have read till date. This trilogy is based on the Opium Wars, which was a very, very important time in Asia. And through the course of this book, one actually time travels back to that age. The story goes from India to Hong Kong to China in the backdrop of the opium trade between British India and China. The series narrates the stories of a multitude of characters. These characters, Indians, Rajas, Zamindars, Chinese, French, Parsis, mulatto, all of these board a ship called the Ibis, and how that ship gets hit by a storm and several of them escape. The second book, River of Smoke, takes place in Canton and narrates the story of the growing tensions between the Chinese and the British over opium trade, and it ends at the brink of the Opium War. Again, it tells the story of the characters which were created in the first book, as well as new characters who are introduced in Canton. In the last book, Flood of Fire, things come to a head between the British and the Chinese, and there's a full-blown conflict. Similar to the previous 2, this book too has a lot of drama. There are shorter stories which are being weaved into the larger picture. There is death, there is opium addiction, there are love stories. It's a page turner. While these are formidable books and can be read independently of each other, I would highly recommend that you start from the very beginning, that Sea of Poppies, and go till the end of the series, because then you actually understand the movement of the lives of all the characters which Amitav Ghosh has created. The research, the descriptions and the language of this book is so beautiful and in-depth that it's actually mesmerizing reading these. And every page literally comes to life with Amitav Ghosh's words. You can see the colors, the life, the smells, the vibrancy of that time through his writing. He has also used a lot of colloquial slangs and pidgin English, which makes the writing even more authentic. I give this trilogy a 5 stars. It's amongst the best that I've ever read. One of Ghosh's most popular books has been The Glass Palace. There are a lot of subjects this book touches upon: colonialism, race, exploitation. It is the story of the Burmese royal family who are exiled to India in the 1880s, and also the exploitation of the rubber plantations in Burma. The novel opens up to a love story between a young orphan and a lady in waiting to the Burmese princess, and how this young man who ultimately goes into the rubber plantations and makes a name for himself goes back in search of this young woman who made an impression in his life when he was very young. This is an epic saga of 3 families and their fate, covering 3 generations during the 1880s. If you don't know anything about the Indian or Burmese history, this is a very well researched book and will give you insights into that time as well. The Great Derangement, Climate Change and the Unthinkable. This is a non-fiction book written by Amitav Ghosh, and he touches upon 3 subjects in this book: stories, history and politics. In this book, Amitav Ghosh questions as to why so little in literary fiction has been written about climate change, except for sci-fi. He also talks about how collectively, as a culture, as a global culture, we are foolish and deranged, in his words, for watching what's happening in front of us instead of taking some relevant steps to make some changes. Ghosh offers an Asian perspective on climate change, which is actually so refreshingly different from the Eurocentric narratives which exist across the world right now. In 2004, Amitav Ghosh took out his book The Hungry Tide, which was the story of a woman called Piali Roy who goes into the Sundarbans to do some research on marine mammals. That one was a fascinating read on the wildlife of that region. Following up Hungry Tide, Amitav Ghosh has written Gun Island in 2019, which is also based in the Sundarbans. This is the story of a rare book dealer who comes across a mythical story when he visits Bengal, and that leads to an expedition to the Sundarbans and then to Venice and Bangladesh. This story has a lot of magic, myth, zoology, and also talks about climate change as well as migration. Like all his other works, Gun Island too is a well-crafted novel, even though at times I did feel that the themes of climate change and magical realism were not exactly gelling together, and he was not able to make it as seamless as he would like to. However, it is not a boring book. It's quite engaging, and I would give this book a 4 stars. Have you read Amitav Ghosh's works? Which was your favorite book by him? Write me a line in the comment section below. I'd absolutely love to hear from you. I've also given a list in the description box below of all of his works apart from the ones which I've mentioned today. So if you would like to explore some other books by Amitav Ghosh, please do check them out. If you enjoyed today's video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel and follow me across social media, because I take out new book-related videos every week and you don't want to miss them. Until the next book, bye-bye!